everybody. Well, I'm finally getting around to making hospital face masks along with a lot of other people. I'm sure you've seen many social media posts of people making these masks that they're donating to hospitals. And I'm finally getting around to doing mine. I did a lot of research. There are so many different patterns out there, and they're all really great, but there's a lot of different styles to choose from. But I wanted to find something that was fast to make, easy and fast to make, so that I could make a lot in a short amount of time. And I wanted the mask to be fast and easy to put on. And I also wanted the mask to have the wire insert at the top so that it molds over your nose, because if you wear glasses like I do and you don't have, if the mask doesn't fit tightly across the nose, well, your glasses get fogged up and then you can't see, and that's no good. And I also wanted to come up with an elastic alternative, because it is virtually impossible right now to find elastic because so many people are making these masks. So this mask does have an alternative to elastic. So I thought I would do a tutorial on this so that you could see how I make my mask, and hopefully you will give it a try and you'll find that it's easy. And this is a great project to do as a family. If you're stuck at home and you're running out of things to do with your family, this is a fun project that you can do together. You can put together a little assembly line and just whip out a bunch of these and donate them to your local hospital. So I hope you will give this a try, and I hope you do find it easy. So let's get started. Okay, so the materials that you will need to make your mask are a piece of fabric. You need fabric that is breathable, like cotton or linen, and the fabric needs to measure 8.5 by 11 inches, and you can use a piece of printer paper as your template. So if you want to cut out several rectangles at once, you just pin your printer paper on top of the layers and cut around that. It makes a great template. You'll need a piece of wire measuring 7 inches long. You want to make sure that you use wire that is pliable, easy to bend. Floral wire works well. You need a pair of nylons or pantyhose. A nylon sock is great for this. Of course, if you can get your hands on some elastic, skinny elastic is perfect, but it is hard to find right now. A couple of straight pins, a safety pin, and a pair of pliers. And of course your sewing machine, thread, and some scissors. Okay, that's it. So let's get started. Okay, the first step is to turn your fabric over with the back side of the fabric facing you, and you're going to be working on the top and the bottom of your fabric. You're going to make a hem on the top and bottom, and to do that you just want to fold the fabric over about 1/4 of an inch and iron it, and then fold it again 1/4 of an inch and iron it. So we'll do that first with the top and the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, I have ironed the hem in my fabric. I turned it over 1/4 of an inch, ironed it, and then another 1/4 of an inch and ironed it. And the reason you want to iron it first is because it just keeps it in place while you're sewing. Okay, so my next step is to go ahead and sew the bottom of the mask, only the bottom. I'm not going to sew the top yet. I'm just going to go across all the way across the inside edge of this fold with a straight stitch. So I have my presser foot lowered and my needle is right at the inside edge of the fold, and I'm just going to stitch all the way down this hem. Remember to start with a back stitch and end with a back stitch for reinforcement. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert the wire into the top fold. So we want to make a little pocket for the wire to go into. So just lay the wire on the top of the fabric, or you can even lay it above, just so that you can find the center. So you just want to center that wire at the top of the fabric and then you're going to mark just outside of the ends of that wire. So you can put a pin here and a pin here, and that's going to show you where to sew your stitch. This stitch is what is going to keep the wire from sliding back and forth. So I'm just going to place a pin at this end and at this end to mark where I want to sew. Okay, so just like that, I have my pins in place at the ends of the wire. So now I'm ready to stitch those areas. And when you get your presser foot where it should be, you can go ahead and just remove that pin. And then all you're going to do is you're going to stitch down and back. And that's it. And then you're going to do the same thing at your other pinned area. Okay, now I have my little pocket to put my wire inside, but before I put the wire inside, I want to take some pliers and fold the end of the wire, and that will keep the pointed edge from poking through the fabric. So you're just going to take your pliers and fold that wire over just like that, and do both ends that way. And now you can go ahead and slide the wire, straighten it out, and slide it into the little pocket that you just made. Just hide it inside there. So the next step will be to close this hem. So you're going to do a straight stitch just like you did with the bottom edge. You're going to do a straight stitch all along the inside fold. Okay, now you're ready to finish the sides of the mask. It's going to be similar to the way you did the top and the bottom, except this time you're going to fold over 1/4 inch and iron it, but then your second fold needs to be a little bigger. It needs to be more like 1/2 inch, because this is where you're going to insert your elastic. So you want to make sure that this is wide enough for your safety pin to fit through. So a 1/4 inch fold and then a 1/2 inch fold. Okay, so I have ironed the sides. There's my 1/4 inch fold and then my 1/2 inch fold on both sides. So now I'm ready to sew these just as I did the top and bottom, with a straight stitch along the inside fold. Okay, so now you have all of the edges of the mask finished. So we're ready to move on to the elastic part of the mask. Okay, so you're just going to take your nylon, and first you want to cut the foot off of the nylon, and then you're just going to cut this into strips about 1 inch wide. So just measure about 1 inch and then just cut your strips. And then you open those up, creating an elastic strip. And now you're going to take your safety pin, put it through the end of your elastic strip, and thread it through the side seam. That's why it is important for your side seam to be a little bit wider than your top and bottom seam, so that your safety pin and your elastic fit through easily. And there you go. And so now you just take that safety pin out, and you're going to take the ends, make sure that the ends are matched up evenly, and then you're just going to tie a knot in the end. And just slide that knot down close to the end. I'm going to trim it off a little bit, and then just do the same thing for the other side. Perfect fit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did find this easy, and I hope you will share this with your family and friends so that they can all make these masks and get them to our hospitals and get our medical professionals equipped with what they need to stay safe and to help our community. Thanks again. Bye-bye.